Go. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Far Off Films podcast, the number one anime podcast ever made. Uh, it's me, Teru from Teru Jong-un Productions. Who else is here?
It's me, Jules, from the channel The Wars Man.
And there's me, living in old-timey fantasy land with no power, Luka.
Yeah. We love it. So, and yeah, today we have a guest with us today. He is one half of the Middle Section podcast, the only podcast that sounds like two drunk friends having a conversation instead of an actual professional movie review show. I hope I said that correctly. And you can check it out on Spotify. I guess that's it. John, say hi, John.
Hello, happy to be here. I'm from the middle section, except
Hello.
I'm not drunk right now because it's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, if you were drunk at 7 a.m., that would be a more serious thing to that would be a serious consideration we need to take into account. But
Maybe when I was
guess,
younger
so.
I'd do it, but not now.
Jesus. So yeah, welcome aboard, man. Happy to have you. Yeah. Please introduce yourself. Who are you?
Well, I am John Griffin. I am the co-host of a movie podcast where, even though we haven't recorded an episode in a bit because we're doing some expanding plans, I am a guy who talks about movies on the internet. I'm a flannel-wearing mojito fiend who talks about movies, video games, comic books, and professional wrestling on the internet. That is basically it.
That is a diverse range, yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to have diversity in your life, some nice variety.
I wouldn't. That's what the leftist agenda wants you to think, man.
Well, consider me woke then.
Timmy's variety is one time watching a good movie, maybe once a month. That's Timmy's variety.
Timmy's variety is giving a good movie a good rating every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a man drunk on power. It's just like, how generous am I feeling today? Does this deserve anything higher than a 6 out of 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man with the letterbox hole.
Yeah, that's where the film starts. It starts at a 6, and then if it's not better, then it stays there. If it's worse, then it goes down. And then
if it's a Ridley Scott film, it's a terrible rating.
It's better.
Yeah, I saw.
I don't know why this is an issue
Scott, it starts at a 3, and then it goes up and down from there, depending.
Yeah,
usually down.
I saw Napoleon the other night, and my first thought when I walked out of the movie was, "Oh boy, Timmy's gonna fucking hate that."
I mean, I've always been this way, though. I don't know why you guys are like suddenly taking issue with this now, though. That's what I'm confused about.
I mean, to be fair, I only met you like a year
We're
ago.
not suddenly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, enough about me. John, what are your favorite movies? Tell us. Who do you connect with and stuff?
No. I do
Yeah.
like Ridley, but he's not one of my top tier directors. Let's see. Raimi, Carpenter, Michael Mann, Steven Spielberg, David Cronenberg. Yeah, those are probably the big 5 right there. But best movies ever made, in my opinion. My 3 favorites of all time gotta be Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, Jaws, and Heat.
Yeah.
And Timmy, if you ever watch Heat and give it
Nice.
anything lower than a 4, I'm coming for you.
I've seen Heat. I love Heat. I love the movie. I've seen it before.
Okay, good.
So,
Just had to make sure it's every dad's favorite movie, except mine. He thinks it's boring because he's lame.
Yeah.
Is would you say The Thing is your favorite Carpenter? Because you mentioned Carpenter, and so
Yeah.
I figured I know you.
Yeah, it kind of... For Carpenter, it kind of switches between which one I watched more recently, between The Thing and Escape from New York. But Yeah, for the most, I'd say it's probably leans more towards The Thing.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. So, um, cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, you mentioned Cronenberg. Yeah. Any particular favorites from him? Any standouts that you consider as favorites? I've never seen a Cronenberg film, so I can't really speak to that for myself. But I'm curious which ones that you like the best.
The Fly, A History of Violence, Crimes of the Future, Eastern Promises, Videodrome,
Okay.
just to name a couple.
Hmm. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing. And I'm curious. And do you have any least favorite movies? Like, if I said like a movie that you hate with your absolute like burning passion and soul, like what would that
Probably
be?
Jaws the Revenge.
Okay, well that makes sense. So,
The theatrical cut of Justice League, that's got to be up. That might be the worst movie I've ever seen in the theater. Die Hard 5, that's a big one too.
That's a
Wow.
good actually for later. Keep that in mind. What's the worst movie you've seen in a cinema? That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like not worst like experience, like just worst movie. Like because we've talked about our best and worst experiences, but I don't think we've talked about like actually just genuinely what is the most shit movie we've seen in a theater.
I think
being
like
in a theater really make that big of a difference? Like if you saw like Joss Whedon's like Justice League at home, like would you hate it as much as like watching it in a movie theater?
yeah,
It
probably.
depends.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if you want to get a recent one in there, a movie that I hate with a burning passion and hope I never have to watch again is The Flash.
Oh yeah, that was. I
As
didn't
a,
even see it in a theater.
as a massive DC fan, that movie just felt like the hardest kick in the balls. Like that movie is somehow worse than all of Snyder's movies, and like it's worse than Batman and Robin.
It's not worse than Suicide Squad. Like Suicide Squad is a worse movie than The Flash. Can we at least say that?
I don't know. I mean, they're both really bad, but at least Suicide Squad had like visual flair going on, even though it was fucking cringe as hell.
Visual
But
flair? What?
I don't know. The neon color shit was like at least a thing. The Flash had nothing, literally nothing.
But you didn't like the part when he went super fast that they had the disgusting CG figures of the famous Superman characters. You didn't like it when Nicolas Cage showed up as a AI generated
No,
CG
I was
character.
also not a fan of how they have AI generated George Reeves. You know, the actor who killed himself because he was being typecasted as Superman after that TV show ended.
Yeah.
Yeah,
real
great job,
real
guys.
tasteful end. Yeah, real tasteful end on DC.
Well
So,
done.
yeah. Didn't we talk about the movie Jules a long time ago?
We
I've
did, we
forgotten like
did.
most of it.
I
But
did
yeah,
not watch
cool.
that
Well,
film in the
either
cinema,
way,
though.
yeah.
I watched that on a tortilla.
I
On
saw it
the,
in the cinema. It was bad. When Wonder Woman showed up, someone behind me tried to get a clap chain going, and no one else clapped. It was hilarious. Like, yeah, sorry, we're not clapping for the Zionist.
Terrible fucking
That-
movie.
That must be really awkward when you like try to get a clap. I can't imagine like anyone being brave enough to try and start that. You just start a clap, but then no one goes along with you, so you just feel like an asshole,
Yeah.
like in the process.
Fucking well, and I went to go see Napoleon. Here's like the difference of audiences reacting to something that's actually funny compared to clapping. But right before the movie started, like right after the Nicole Kidman ad ended, AJ Ford, who I saw the movie with, like just like yelled, "Let's go, everyone! Napoleon Dynamite 2!" And then good amount of people laughed. So
Hell yeah.
There was a surprising amount of laughter at at my Napoleon screening. Like, I mean, there were like some genuinely funny parts, I guess, but I was not expecting like so many laughters, um, on my theater. And I don't know if you had the same experience, John.
yeah, well, we had a few good laughs, mainly from some Joaquin lines. I mean, the freaking "Fate brought me to this lamb chop" line got everyone laughing pretty good.
Yeah, that was kind of funny, I guess. So, um, But yeah, cool, awesome. Well, I didn't mean to go on a tirade or anything, but thank you, yeah, for sharing
By the way, this is
your
unrelated, but
info.
I was told to ask Jules when's the last time he had what is this, a fucking Bunnings sausage?
Hot dog.
Bunnings hot dog.
Oh God, we're coming back to this.
Tell Jack
Let's
that
go! We're coming back.
Tell Jack that I'm still waiting to have one with him, and the last time I had one was a few weeks ago, on a Saturday, on a walk, and it was pretty good. And Jack knows how good they are.
Relaying the message right now.
Yeah, it just sucks that Australia can't make a good fucking hot dog to save their lives. I mean,
Well, they ain't New
we're all a part of,
York.
yeah, they're not New York. They're not America just in general. So
They're
Your
not
hot
Fenway
dogs are
Park.
so overstuffed with things. Ours is so simple and clean and effective. You'll never find a better hot dog.
but you don't understand. We like the taste of steroids and other
Yeah.
shitty chemicals stuffed inside a stuffed inside a sausage casing. You don't
We just put
understand.
onions in ours.
Yeah,
So do we,
that
I
actually
guess,
sounds
right?
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
nice cooked warm white bread, a little sausage, and then some onions, and then some tomato sauce.
I like how Timmy goes, we Americans like to just put horrible things in our bodies.
Yeah,
and I
you're
couldn't
like,
agree
oh yeah,
more.
also
It's
like
just
a
suck off this
1,000
fucking
tons
vape.
of mustard, onions, tomato sauce, and also like whatever the fuck you put. You pretty much put like garnish on it or something.
Well, I mean, the Chicago style hot dog just has a ton of shit on it. It's just like, it's like a whole pickle and like peppers and stuff. Like I don't fucking know, but it's because it's not our fault that we like to eat good food and fill it with stuff that'll make us shit our pants. That's just the true essence of being an American. We just like to put terrible shit on our body and walk
Yes.
around proud. Yeah.
We need
So,
those like the real cost ads for like processed food.
yeah. I proudly go into a gas station knowing the shit that I'm putting in my body, it's probably shortening my lifespan by at least 5 years. So, yeah. So, anyway, yeah. Did you guys have any questions for John? Or
Not really, to be honest.
No, please feel free.
Who's your favorite Australian?
Oh man, gee,
And why is it
Jack
why is it
Siddle?
not
It
Jack?
might be.
Why is it me?
Wait, is George Miller Australian?
Yes. Wait, which
He's
one? Filthy
Australian.
Frank
Yeah.
or the
Okay, it
director?
might be him then. The director.
Yeah.
It might be him then. Fury Road kind of changed me as
Yeah,
a human
same.
being.
Yeah, I'm excited for because isn't the Mad Max prequel coming out next year or Furiosa or whatever it's called?
Yeah, we're supposed to get the first look next month during the Brazil CCXP thing.
Oh shit. Furiosa and GTA 6 all coming out revealed next month. Sounds
I
like
know.
Christmas already. Yeah.
It's gonna
Oh.
Frank. As far as I'm concerned, Furiosa is more important than GTA 6.
I might disagree with you on that one there, considering Grand Theft Auto Online was basically all of my teen years. Well, not all of them, but
These fellas
14
know I
to
don't
fucking...
play video games, so
Yeah, he
Fair
wasn't
enough.
allowed to play video games until recently,
no,
right?
not even recently. I still don't play 'em. I'm planning to get a thing though.
Oh, okay.
I might get a Steam Deck.
That's a
Jules
start.
is still a baby. Hasn't even played Mario.
I have
Or
played
Pokemon.
Are
Mario.
you
Or
gonna
anything like
Steam
that.
gay?
Okay, yeah, no, let's just awkwardly move on. So, Jules, what shit has happened? Yet, please tell us.
Simpsons 2 is rude.
Oh god. Okay.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, not much has really happened. Oh yeah, did you guys I suppose if we really want to talk, we can gloat about how Marvel's fucking dying.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
baby!
yeah, I
Finally,
guess
we made
so.
it. We're here.
Yeah. To be fair, I was hasn't it okay, so John, I'm gonna consider you the Marvel resident or whatever, the Marvel expert. I feel like wasn't there like a similar amount of like backlash to like the Eternals or whatever? Because that also bombed, didn't it? Because no one liked the Eternals and no one went to go see that. So I just assumed that was like the beginning of the end for the MCU.
Well, it's kind of just been bad for them since they started releasing movies again post COVID. Like, Black Widow didn't make a lot of money, The Eternals didn't make a lot of money, but No Way Home made a shit ton of money, so that was like kind of like, oh yeah, I guess they do have some like ground to stand on there. But then everything after
Mhm.
that has just been, yeah, but everything after that has just been like, eh. Like, Doctor Strange did really well, I'm pretty sure, but everything else hasn't really gotten that much more than like 500 million worldwide.
Yeah. I guess like my question is and this is a big reason why I've just stopped giving a shit about Marvel movies other than, they suck and they don't really do anything for me anymore and I have no interest in seeing them is I don't really understand like what the end game is here cuz like
Forever.
the whole point of
I
Marvel
don't think they
yeah,
do
of like
either.
yeah, because like I thought like Kang was going to be, the new Thanos or whatever, but then he got canceled. So it's like, then what the fuck are we like working towards here? Like, what is the point of any of this? Like, what is the overall end game, and is it even going to be an end game? Because I've always thought that like just ending it at like Avengers Endgame, maybe having like Spider-Man No Way Home be like the epilogue or whatever. Like would be like a nice fitting conclusion to this series, but then no, like Disney just couldn't fucking help themselves and just continue spamming movies to the point that like I don't think anyone is interested. Like I'm what's like so this is like what like the lowest grossing Marvel movie, the Marvels or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
So like yeah, I don't know. Like this is just they've dug their own hole. I don't know what else like I feel like this is less like a oh how do we fix the continuity and more just like do people even give a shit anymore? Cuz like
it
we're
is
not even
pretty
this is
like.
oh
Oh,
yeah, go
sorry,
ahead.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
So no, no,
Oh,
no. I was
I was
almost
I
done. Go
was
ahead.
gonna
Yeah.
say like it is actually kind of depressing how they kind of just tarnished their own legacy by not stopping when they had a perfect way to end it with Endgame. Like I genuinely would not be as hard on the MCU as I am if they ended it with Endgame. I would have been like, oh yeah, that was like a nice superhero movie saga. Like yeah, it spanned over 10 years and there's a lot of stuff to watch, but at least it ended on like a decent note. But like now it's just like oh god, another one? Like just over and over again.
It's too much, man.
Pretty much like they could have just ended it and started it with different characters, like, and a new story. Because now they're like making all these films about characters that no one cares about anymore.
Yeah, like
Because they've had their time.
ain't no one caring about fucking I don't even remember some of their superheroes. That's how little I care about them.
Yeah, like I mean like but even the characters that we used to care about like Thor and Ant-Man, it's like they don't fucking do anything anymore. They're just like off dicking around doing their own things and plus their movies just aren't good in general. Like I know everyone hated what was the other Taika Waititi Thor movie, not
Thor Love
Ragnarok,
and
the other one, what's
Thunder.
that called? That was it. Yeah, everyone hated that and then Quantum Medium I saw on a plane and I barely remember anything about it. It's like yeah, it's just there's just no consistency. Yeah, and like the writing has just like dropped off completely. Like I'm not gonna pretend like the writing in like the first three phases of Marvel were like perfect or anything, but they were at least like consistent enough where it's like, yeah, okay, it's just these are just how Marvel characters talk. But now it's just like, what the fuck, It's just like everyone's quipping, it's all cringe, and I it's just
You
like
could
the
blame
movies
Joss
themselves, like
Whedon for
just to
that.
Yeah.
I
You
guess,
blame John
but I'm
Favreau
talking about
writing
like
like
Marvel.
one
All
joke in
that
Iron Man.
started with that first Avengers movie. I mean,
Yeah, I guess so. But But I'm just talking about like Marvel movies recently, like just like having such a dip in quality because I don't remember the last time our Marvel movie got as bad as like Quantumanium or something like that. Like even the worst MCU film like in the first three phases was like probably Thor 2, but I don't even think it was like nearly as bad as the shit I saw in this new Ant-Man film. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Another big problem that they have is that they're relying heavily on like bringing old actors back from pre-MCU stuff to be like, "Hey, look, you remember this guy, come see the movie." But in reality, all that's doing to them is making people be like, "Remember how good we used to have it? I miss those days."
Yeah, I heard about the
Yeah.
CGI character on that new Captain Marvel
Yeah,
post-credit scene.
Kelsey
Yeah,
Grammer,
Kelsey
they brought him
Grammer,
back
yeah.
as Beast, but
From fucking
Yeah, they brought back
X-Men The
Blueface
Last Stand,
Frazier.
one of the worst X-Men movies.
Yeah. So, I mean,
he is one of the best
so
parts of
what?
that
Like,
movie, though.
True. He's like one of the only.
I'm talking about Kelsey Grammer in The Last Stand, because
yeah.
He's awesome.
Clearly you forgot about the Juggernaut, the famous line.
Juggernaut.
don't you know who I am?
Bitch.
My favorite
love
line
that
from
line.
Juggernaut in that movie is, "Let me out, will ya? I need to pay."
So but I exactly like I've always thought the fan service and this okay, but also keep in mind this is not like a problem just for like this is also an issue in Star Wars too. Just every Disney
Yep.
fucking property ever is just they've gotten to the point where they're just like ramming fan service to the point where it's like what the fuck are you even offering like on your own? Like we none of us have seen Wish, but I remember Jules was telling us about how like the new Wish and Disney movie or whatever is like trying to like connect to like different classic like Disney movies or something like that.
I
Like
don't know if
one's
that
trying to
I don't know
connect
if
to
that
like
was real though. That could be just bullshit, but yeah.
No, that was real.
Yeah,
Oh, that was real?
I
Oh
saw
my
it on
fucking
Reddit,
God.
and someone who saw the
Oh
movie
my
confirmed
God.
it was real.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, like this isn't an issue like specific for Marvel. It's an issue for every Disney property where they just can't fucking help themselves and ram fan service, but like but in the end, it doesn't like. What's the point? Like, haha. Like, we remember that thing. Remember Toby? Remember when he said "Ow, my back" after he fell in Spider-Man 2? Remember Jean-Luc Picard was Professor X that one time in the early 2000s. Like, who the fuck gives a
Yeah.
shit? Like, who cares? Like, just give
I
me
would have
something new.
walked out of the theater if Tobey Maguire said pizza time at any point during No Way Home. Like, that would have just been the last straw for me.
Yeah.
I was surprised they didn't say that. Like, because they
Yeah.
said every other like Toby Maguire meme. They said the "I'm something of a scientist myself" and all that. I'm surprised they didn't say pizza time at all. So, but yeah, but I don't know. And we haven't even talked about like the TV shows. Like I haven't seen
Oh,
any single
Jesus.
like Marvel show because I just don't give a shit. But apparently they're not even good either. Like apparently Secret Invasion was bad and other stuff. That's the only one I can think of right now.
I
Um,
only watched 3 of those shows. I watched WandaVision as it was coming out. I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier as it was coming out. WandaVision was okay, but fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier was just terrible. And then the first season of Loki I did watch, and I did think that was really good. But then I just did not care to watch season 2 because I've just fallen off this fucking train so hard, man.
Same.
apparently season 2 is actually good. Like I mean
Yeah,
I've never
well,
seen it.
I
So
currently
I
don't
didn't.
have a Disney Plus subscription. I canceled it because I barely
Oh,
fucking use the thing. So it's not
so
like
it
I was
wouldn't matter
watching it
anyway.
anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not restarting that thing until Andor season 2 comes out.
Yeah.
Before that, I got
I
nothing.
saw the leaked trailer today. I'm very excited.
Oh, it looks good. I'm excited.
So fucking hyped.
It's nice that there's at least some itch of Star Wars content that's not appeasing
That's
to
so
the
weird,
jiggling
though.
keys people.
The biggest franchise on the planet, the most iconic franchise, arguably in like movie history, has just become TV show content now. Like that's all it is.
Yeah, it sucks. It also sucks like
The fall off. Like, I remember, like, the hype for fucking The Force Awakens when it came out, and, like, I've heard about, like, how
Take
it
me
was
back.
just treated, it was treated like the Return of Christ when, like, The Phantom Menace was announced. Like, what a fucking fall off.
Yeah, and it's also just like so sad now that the best things we've gotten from Star Wars in the past like 3 or 4 years, I'd say, are like two video games and a TV series based on a kind of forgettable character from Rogue One, but now he's no longer forgettable because the show slapped.
Yeah, I remember. I still haven't seen Andor because, frankly, I also stopped giving a shit about Star
You should
Wars.
actually watch
But
it. It's
apparently,
awesome.
a lot of people, I I do want to watch it at some point. I just, again, I'm still just so burnt out by Star Wars. But I remember like general. There was like like a passionate like minority group that were just that hated Andor because it was like boring or something because it like didn't
Yeah,
include
because it
fan
didn't
servicey
have like
moments
freaking
and.
cameos or anything.
Yeah, like where the hell's Luke Skywalker and R2D2 and all that shit? Like I think when I heard that I was just like,
Every other
oh
day when,
Christ,
like,
is this what?
Andor was airing, and I would go on Twitter and see, like, a clip of Star Wars Theory complaining about it. It was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, he Star Wars Theory literally said that the show's boring and Disney should make a General Grievous prequel show, and we were all just
Oh
like,
my
how fucking
God.
stupid are you, dude? Oh my
Have
god!
you seen the clip of him saying, like, why don't they just make a show about the Clone Wars?
Wow, hey, he's not gonna believe this, but there's already a show that
It's
has
crazy.
7 seasons that
There's
did
there's
that.
not one but two
Yeah.
shows, and they both good.
Yeah. Well, boy, do we have some good news for him. Yeah. You
Yeah,
know what I miss? I miss Gendy Tarkovsky's Clone Wars. Like I want more of that shit. Like cuz I mean
yeah,
I
that
like
shit was cool.
I like the Star Wars the Clone Wars like as much as the next person, but I damn like I maybe it's because I've just been this was right off the coattails after I finished Primal. I was just like fucking damn, I need more Gendy Tarkovsky in my life and this man needs to make more Star Wars shit. Like
Yeah.
and he could do it cuz like isn't that what Star Wars Visions basically is? It's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, hey,
it's not
famous
canon like
animation
things from different
studio."
animation studios. Yeah, that's like a
Yeah.
great idea. That actually does work because I thought both seasons of Star Wars Visions were also really good. But
Mhm.
another like Star Wars thing that I still think is good, and we'll see what happens when its third installment comes out. But the Jedi games that starring Cameron Moynihan have both been fantastic. They're basically
Mhm.
Uncharted, but in Star Wars.
Yeah, that's what I've that's what I've heard. I've heard they're Uncharted meets Dark Souls or something. I haven't played them
Yeah,
since I don't.
that's literally exactly what they are.
So, yeah, I miss Star Wars Force Unleashed though. I remember I miss being a edgy power boy and destroying everything in my path.
I think the
So that was a
dumbest
lot of
Star
fun.
Wars fans are the ones that are like, "Why can't Star Killer be canon?" I'm like, "Did you play the fucking games? That would create so many errors in the continuity if he
That
was a
would mean, like,
canon
I mean,
character."
cloning already exists, but, like, that would
Yeah,
like
that
mean, like, they would
that dude
that would
literally pulled a Star Destroyer from orbit to the ground. Like,
yeah.
Exactly.
that kind of
Yeah.
fucks
And
up
he
a lot
killed
of
Darth
shit.
Vader and the Emperor in the ending of that game, or one of the endings.
Yeah. Which Luke Skywalker could barely do in like all three of the original trilogy movies. So
Dog,
it's
he
like
doesn't even do it. They kill each other at the end of Return of the Jedi.
That's true. I didn't even think about it like that.
All Luke had to do was lay on the ground going, "Father, please." And then it worked. They killed each other.
Yeah. So
I mean, he did chop off his
I
hand.
remember like yeah, I guess yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
but it was a
closest we'll ever
robot
get,
hand.
I
It was
guess. Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I so well, you guys were mentioning how like Star Wars went from being this like popular like movie franchise into just being TV content bullshit. And I think that all just kind of started with like The Last Jedi receiving a lot of backlash. Now, I haven't seen The Last Jedi since it
It's
came
good.
out.
Really good.
But I feel like in
Star Wars
retrospect,
films
even if
are
I,
really
even if I,
cool.
well, yeah, I know that's like how a lot of people feel. I haven't seen it since it came out, and I remember like on the side of like, no, it ruined the lore or whatever, and blah 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 blah, all this other shit. But I think like in retrospect, like The Last Jedi is kind of like something that we need these. I think it's just that like for some reason we've been so conditioned to want to just see shit we've already seen before, like, oh, it's bad enough that Boba Fett gets his own show. We also need to include Cad Bane and all this other shit, and it's just like, why can't we just have like Star Wars shit on its own, And it's
Yeah.
like even like regardless of how you feel about The Last Jedi, at least like it attempted to do something on its own, and like you
I
got to commend it for that.
truly
So
I truly think The Last Jedi was the last big film franchise movie that actually felt like it was made by a real director, because Rian Johnson directs the hell out of that movie. Like it's not my favorite Star Wars movie, but it's in my opinion the best directed one.
Yeah.
mm.
But yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, I still want to see the Ryan Johnson trilogy if that's
That's not
still
happening.
happening. Probably
That'll
not.
never happen.
Yeah,
He'll
so,
happily live out the rest of his film career making Daniel Craig whodunit movies, and you know what? That's totally fine. Let him be happy.
yeah, fuck it. Yeah, so
I liked both those movies, so whatever he wants to do, just keep it up, bro. I got you.
Do you guys
Our
remember
only hope
playing the
is,
old Knights of the Old Republic though? That was the best fucking Star Wars game.
Yeah, which the remake
played
of
the
is
first-
apparently not happening now.
apparently it's
no,
dead
it's
in the
apparently
waters,
still
which
active.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it's
it
being
is?
developed
Okay.
by a company that's only made mobile games, so I'm just like, yeah, that's not gonna go well.
Yeah, probably.
Christ. This is going to be another GTA remastered trilogy, and I'm not
Oh
excited
man.
for that at all.
Shout out to me who wasted $70 on that.
Yeah, that really sucks for you. So, like the mobile versions of the GTA trilogy on your phone is like is a better series of game than the GTA remastered trilogy.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, not to, yeah, I didn't mean to for this to be a whole anti-Disney circle jerk or anything. I just I just thought that it would be an interesting conversation. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yo, fuck Disney.
Fuck Disney.
Yeah. Fuck Disney. Fuck Disney. So, and now it really sucks because and not to quickly go back to Marvel, but like Guardians 3 was like the last like Marvel movie I went to go see in theaters, and now that's fucking over. It's like James Gunn's doing DC shit now. It's like, well, then now there really is nothing left in Marvel that I can watch unless like
They
they're
lost
gonna,
their last good thing.
yeah, unless they like bring back Sam Raimi or some shit, which I doubt they will. I mean,
I don't
mean,
want them
maybe, I don't
to.
know.
Fucking stay away from him.
Get the fuck away from them. Do not touch my boy.
Unless Marvel like takes a note from what Gunn is doing with DC and like makes their own like Elseworld style thing, like how Gunn said like the Batman and Joker will now be labeled as Elseworlds because they're not canon to the main continuity. Unless Marvel does something like that and just lets Raimi make Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire, keep him the fuck away from that company.
I'm surprised there hasn't been any like Spider-Man 4 development, considering how popular the Sam Raimi movies are.
Pray every day.
I don't know.
Every single day. It would suck though in when you think about it. I mean, the movie
It would definitely
maybe
suck,
be good.
but-
But it would also just be like, we're not going to get the Spider-Man 4 that we knew was coming. Like, the Vulture will not be the villain played by John Malkovich, which I still feel robbed of every day.
Yeah. But
Unless they could get him
well.
back, he's just like old. Well, he's actually probably more the age to do it now, actually.
Yeah, perhaps.
I mean, it also just depends on like what is John Malkovich doing these days? Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know. Good question. It'd be great if he was the Vulture and he was just doing his burn after reading performance during it, like just like flying through the air, just going, "What the fuck?"
yeah.
Peter Parker,
I
how
like my
fucking stupid can you be?
I mean, I like Michael Keaton as much as the next guy, but yeah, I think I would have preferred John Malkovich as Birdman. Oh wait, no, that's the other guy.
That's
Never
Michael
mind.
Keaton, yeah.
That's also Michael Keaton. So,
I
um,
would have preferred him as the Batman. Oh wait, that's also Michael Keaton. Fuck.
yeah.
Dude
So,
likes
but
to have wings.
yeah, he likes bird-themed superheroes or flying-themed superheroes. I don't know. So, but anyway, I guess we can move on to something else. Luca, is your audio doing okay? Do you want to talk about the Scott Pilgrim anime or?
Well, I was about to say, yeah, we can stop
Sound like you're
talking
coming through
about
a
nerd shit,
landline.
so speak about something. But I just realized we're immediately gonna start talking about more nerd shit. So
Yeah. I mean, up to you. Because I know you guys also wanted to talk about your festival stuff, so we can move away from nerd shit and talk about, I guess,
Serious
not
movies.
nerd shit. I don't know. Serious
Movies
time.
for
Yeah.
adults.
Jules to watch Scott Pilgrim because like there's two of us in the call that haven't seen it. So
It's okay, I don't care if you spoil it,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it. I don't like Scott Pilgrim.
you're
I
not
don't like
gonna
Scott
watch it.
Pilgrim. What's wrong with you? You don't like Edgar Wright's movie?
No, I don't like Edgar Wright's movie. It's my least favorite of his films that I've seen.
Boo.
Even worse than the one shitty horror movie that he made. What was that called? Fuck.
Last night in Soho.
I still haven't
Yeah,
seen
that
it.
was it. Okay.
So as of right now, out of all the ones I've seen from him, it's my least favorite.
Okay. Well, you're wrong, but it's okay to be wrong. So,
I think I like the movie better than the anime.
okay. I'm of the opposite opinion, but do you want to talk? I know, John, you want to see the anime. I know you want to see the anime, so I'm if we could talk about this without spoilers, but I feel like it'd be better if we go into spoilers next episode. I don't know. Up to you. I really don't care. I'm happy to talk about it. So,
Yeah, I'll get around to watching it at some point. I just haven't had the time to since it released. I've been a busy man.
yeah, very busy. Busy boy. So yeah, up to you, Luca. We can talk about it or we can not talk about it.
We're talking about it now all next episode, so we can just kind of go for it. We can make it brief. Like it doesn't really, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, if you want. Yeah. Yeah, I liked the anime. It's it's God, it is kind of hard to talk about without spoilers. So, yeah, I mean, without spoiling it, just like talking about the anime at face value, I think it is an improvement on the movie in almost every way in terms of like narrative and character development and stuff. Like visually it's about as impressive as the movie because because it has a lot of like similarities in visuals. Like there's a lot of like pow crack, like onomatopoeia, like words flying out, but there's a lot of like really awesome like work done with the animation when it comes to the action scenes. Like without spoiling anything, there's an action scene with Roxy and Lucas Lee in episodes 3 and 4 that are like really really good that I've rewatched on like YouTube and shit because they're just so fun to watch while also being like very thematically rich. Because what I like about the anime is that they kind of like go deeper into the characters, like it because in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, that's a film that's very much like style over substance. Not to say that it didn't have substance like in general, but like
No substance.
there was a lot of like yeah, there's substance. Yeah, like but it's like very much like going for like a visually like an I wouldn't say like an acid trip. Like it's not like climax or anything like that, but it's very much like a visual experience where like oh, the thing that you remember about the movie are like the cool fight scenes and like the really cool like dream sequences and like visual moments and stuff like that. And the anime kind of continues that too. Because there were a lot of like visuals in the show that I like still remember to this day. But like story wise, I think there was more meat to the narrative that I found that I liked more than versus the world. But that's just me. So yeah, what about you, Luca?
Yeah, for me, it's like I did like the story and like actually getting to know more about the characters. Um, like yeah, and the anime, I it's weird. Like I feel like the film, like the Edgar Wright film, just feels a lot more clean and polished, and it's like you can watch it as one thing, you know. It just feels like it flows very nicely together. If that makes sense.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah, like I mean, it's a movie, so like already it's going to be like much better paced and like more, just more efficiently told, if that makes sense. Um, which I mean, that's not to say like the anime is slow or anything. Like, but I know what you mean. Like, because it's a more self-contained thing, like you get more bang for the buck. So yeah, yeah, I get what you mean.
It feels like you had delivered the same pieces of information in the show and the movie about the main characters, and I don't feel like the show really develops them a bit more. Like they kind of have similar story arcs, similar beats, except in kind of roles reversed. But what I liked about the show is that the side characters have more attention to them because obviously there is more time, so there is more time for them to grow and actually feel like a part of like a posse and a proper group. Because I feel like watching the movie, you kind of get like a cleaner and shorter experience, which is really fun. But watching the show, you can actually kind of properly gain a sense of what like these characters really are and who they were intended to be like in the comics, if that makes sense. Like that comic style, like they felt more realized and genuine, I guess. Like in the first film, they are essentially kind of just props or obstacles, but in the show, they are actually just characters. So even though I feel like the main characters stay vastly pretty much the same, in the show, the side characters is what truly makes it shine for me personally. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I do want to push back on when you say like um you said like they mostly stayed like went through similar character arcs. I'm assuming you were talking about Scott and Ramona. Um I felt like Ramona actually had more to do in this show, where she actually felt like a real character, like unlike in Versus the World where she just kind of felt like a prize to be won after kicking Jason Schwartzman's ass. Like, I mean, like she obviously still had a character, she wasn't just like a video game prize or anything like that. But like, I just think like in the show, she just has more agency and like more of like her own like self-driven goals, if that makes sense. And while Scott like also, I would agree that like he kind of goes through a similar character arc, but again, without spoiling, they make reveals towards the end of the show, which I thought were pretty interesting, and like the way they pulled it off. I don't know what I'm saying. The way they paid it off at the end with like the final battle, I think was definitely a change that I really liked and appreciated. So yeah,
Yeah, the ending was something that honestly quite lost me a bit because,
okay,
like, yeah, let's just say it like goes into something quite grand that wasn't really expected, if that makes sense.
yeah, no, I get what you mean.
They
Yeah,
kind of something very huge that like the rest of the show wasn't really in a similar vein to, like
it really is hard to talk about the show without spoiling. So
yeah. But you get what I mean, like
no, I get what you mean. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, hmm. So. But yeah, the moral of the story. Yeah, but moral of the story is, John, just go in with like I don't want to say zero expect. I'd say like kind of be open to what happens in the show because it's like it's it's not a remake. It's like what's the best way to describe it, Luka? It's like it's not a sequel either, I guess. It's like a reinterpretation or something, like a it's not a remake or a sequel. It's like something else, It's like maybe
It's
an
like a
alternate
different
reality.
adaptation type thing.
No,
It's like a scenario. It's like what if what if this was the movie, except a few different things happen.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I guess so. That's basically that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I will. I
so
will probably end up watching it because my girlfriend's a really big fan of the Edgar Wright movie, and she also likes anime. So I'm sure her
hell
and I
yeah.
will eventually take a day and just sit down and binge all of it. But until then, yeah, I got nothing on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like, there is a lot to really enjoy about it. There's like great moments, but yeah, it also is kind of like slow at points and doesn't really give off like the same like electrifying, fast-paced feel as the film. But it is going for a different thing. So yeah.
yeah. Mhm. So, yeah. So, but yeah, I think we should I feel like that's about as much as we can say without spoiling it. So, Luke, if you want to like go into a more spoiler discussion next episode, I'm happy to do it. So, because I feel like we have a lot to say. So,
Yeah, maybe. I don't really feel
yeah.
like I need to say more. Like, I liked it.
Okay.
I thought it was really, but not as good as the movie, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay. And I am the opposite, but I'm also biased, so, take that as what you will. So, yeah. So, yeah, anyway, do you want to rate it? The
I've watched the movie before watching this one, though, which is
Yeah,
weird,
I
you know? Like,
I
they kind of feel like they go hand in hand, even though they are separate things.
yeah, and they even like the way they reference the movie is also very clever. Like again, without spoiling anything, like the way they incorporate like bits of like the stories and like story elements and just like overall like things from the movie in a way that like naturally fits what's happening in the anime. Yeah, like Luca said, like don't think of they very much complement each other. Like it's best you watch the movie first and then the anime so you can get like the full experience of what both is offering, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, good
but
thing I've seen the movie.
yeah, well that is good. Yeah. So yeah. I guess if we want to rate it, I gave it like an 8 out of 10. So it's great. I really loved it. So
I gave it like a probably really good.
cool. Do we want to talk about Tales from Earthsea now, or
Wasn't
did
I
you
going to
guys
talk
want
about
to
the film festival
briefly?
stuff?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess I forgot about that. Yeah, go ahead, and if you guys want to talk about that, yeah. So
Yeah, so I attended two film festivals. I'm just kind of regarding them as one, but one was the queer film festival, where I saw Kokomo
nice.
City, which was really really good, and I also saw the new Andrew Hay uh, film All of Us Strangers with Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott, which was amazing. And then I saw one film at the Jewish film festival, which was the new Jonathan Glazer film, The Zone of Interest, which was a fucking masterpiece, fucking amazing.
You lucky bastard. I hate you for having seen the movie already. Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna flex that on you guys for quite a few months. And when does it come out for you, Timmy?
I mean, it technically should be like around Christmas time, right, John? Because it when is it? Do you know when it
I
comes out in the
think
States?
so. I'm gonna check right now.
Yeah, I think it's around Christmas time when it comes out, which is a really weird movie to release on Christmas, but whatever. So,
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting it on
Uh,
December 15th, so that's like
okay, got
3 weeks from now, I believe.
okay.
So not far. But yeah, that
Yeah.
was
So we'll be able to talk about it at some point. Yeah.
but yeah, those were
So yeah, yeah. Without spoiling it, yeah, like kind of what would you say like your general thoughts on the movie was, and like what kind of expectations do you think us normies who haven't seen it yet should have before we go see it?
well, in regards to expectations, I think I'm not going to say anything because I think it should just be like a raw experience. But my
Mm.
general thoughts on the movie were, uh, it's so hard to get into without like spoiling it. But like, it's just like, it's so just like, it might be the scariest like non-horror movie technically that I've seen in years. Like, there's like a lot of stuff that like you just kind of see in like the background, like even, and it's just like the implications of that is just like they're just so fucking terrifying, and like the there's there's barely enough words that can kind of describe just like this film because like it's so just like grim and shocking and depressing. It's like it's not a fun film to sit through, but it's like it's so well made as well. He used like hidden cameras just kind of dotted around this one house like he did in the van scenes from Under the Skin, to really capture like a natural kind of flow of people just kind of walking around doing like normal shit. Um, yeah, all the performances are really good. Sandra Hüller, I think, or Helder, she was fucking amazing. Might be my best favorite female performance I've seen this year. Yeah, it's kind of something you just have to kind of see and experience for yourself. It's not as good as Under the Skin because Under the Skin's like one of the the greatest movies of this century, but this is probably one of the greatest movies of this century. I think probably it'll be my favorite of the year, and I don't think anything's gonna change that.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
new Andrew Hay was really good as well.
But yeah, Mhm. Yeah, very jealous that you got to see all this great stuff. But yeah, I'm glad. I'm looking forward to. Yeah. Hmm.
I did not get to see the new Karita
Three's
film.
more than we did.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's that's more than us. Yeah.
you went to
Yeah, I'm
Tribeca.
excited to. I've heard nothing but yeah, but you know, I didn't see any great movies there.
Gotta get better,
I
De
saw
Niro.
mostly dog shit. Yeah, I saw. Oh God, did I ever tell you about this, John? I told you guys about this. They kept playing these commercials at Tribeca for like Robert De Niro Day or something like that, and it was just like a compilation
What?
of like a bunch of random people just like doing Robert De Niro impressions by like quoting all of his movies or whatever, and I was just like,
Ew.
God, this is so cringe. And they kept playing it before like every movie I went to go see, and I was like, I don't care. Stop doing Robert De Niro impressions. I hate this.
Well, he's the
Just
founder
be
of the
like,
Tribeca Film Festival.
no, I get that, but like I just feel like there was a better way to like celebrate, you know, Robert De Niro Day than just having a bunch of people be like, never rat out your friends and always keep your mouth shut. And it's just like a compilation of people like, you talking to me? You talking to me? It's just like, yes, I have seen these movies. You don't need to rub it in my face. God. So
That like that reminds me of like back in 2005, just so you know, this is about to get wrestling related, but it's also related to movies, so it's okay. But in 2005, the build up to WrestleMania, because it was in Los Angeles, they were doing like movie parodies with the wrestlers for like little like skits, and there was one, I forget who was in it. I know Dave Bautista was one of them. But they all were wearing like the Travis Bickle jacket, looking in a mirror, doing the "you talking to me" thing.
oh God.
Yeah. Yeah, they did that. There was a parody of Basic Instinct was one of them too.
Bruh.
I believe, yeah. Which, that one has not aged well because one of the guys in it is, the one who killed his wife and kid then hung himself in 2007.
Wait, what?
That guy.
Yeah,
Wait, who
Chris
is this?
Benoit. Unironically, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, but his entire fucking career is tarnished because he did that. So yeah, that didn't age well. I could have sworn there was another one that was really fucking funny. I can't remember what movie it was parodying though. But yeah, just De Niro impressions made me think of that.
Kind of poorly aged because Basic Instinct is also a poorly aged film because the director
Yeah.
had some weird things.
Paul is the guy, all right.
Take your underwear off, and it's reflecting the light badly. Like just take it off, and it'll look better on the light.
Show your Sharon Stonesy
Yeah.
to all of America.
I believe that there's I believe it's on the Showgirls commentary on the DVD. Apparently, Paul Verhoeven points out every single extra that he had sex with during it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and I'm like, that is wild. That guy is fucking crazy.
Are you allowed to say shit like that on a DVD commentary? I mean,
I don't know. He's
good for
just,
him, I
he's
guess.
Just
Yeah.
he's just a quirky guy.
Shit on the Transformers DVD commentary.
Probably. Yeah, I wanted the camera to
I mean,
go
there's
right
already
up her
creepy
ass
ass
there.
There's already creepy ass shit in the Transformers movies in general. I mean, like Transformers 2 had racism, and then Transformers 4 had like legally okay like child sex or some shit. Remember that? The
Romeo and
the
Juliet law
Romeo and
joke.
Juliet, yeah, law, yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
remember that.
you know, yeah. This is why it is okay. This is why it is legally okay for me to fuck a minor. Said Michael Bay. It's his words, not
I'm gonna
mine.
clip that out of
So,
context.
yeah, Jesus.
This
Yeah,
is-
please. Click.
Timmy, you gotta edit that into just random points of the episode. You just going like, it's legally okay for me to fuck a minor.
Age is just a number. Timmy Lee, 2023. You heard it here, folks.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Oh God, fuck!
TDP
This is all gonna come back to haunt me at some point.
Yo, what's up? It's
God,
your
I'm
boy
really-
Timmy Lee 445. I shot the neighbor's dog across the street, or whatever that video was.
Man, this is a really good.
That's
This is
such
a
a
really
good
good
video.
cupcake.
Yeah, so the other day I
It's a
shot
really
my
good-
neighbor's dog.
Yeah.
You just got the fuck out of Chipotle.
Oh God. Let's just.
Despite that guy being a
Are we
pedophile,
done?
he made some funny as fuck videos.
Tired of playing
I
with your
mean-
ass. Tonight your ass is gonna die, bitch. Say goodnight, motherfucker. Someone edited that into like Lego Star Wars, where he's like wearing the rebel hat, shoots Darth Maul, then all the studs go everywhere.
That was me playing Lego Star Wars though as a kid.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't play video games when you were a kid.
I had an iPad, okay.
Actually, the mobile
Okay.
version of Lego Star Wars is literally just the same thing as the console version. So yeah, he
Yeah.
experienced
I
it.
guess so. Yeah. So. But yeah, well, thank you for sharing your festival stuff. Luka, did you also have festival stuff you wanted to share real quick?
Yeah. I used to do this like 3 or 2 episodes ago, but I carried on forgetting. Let me go get the diary open. So yeah, I went to European Film Festival again and saw some stuff. The first thing that I saw was Anatomy of a Fall.
Anatomy of Defoe.
Very great movie. Yeah, honestly, I haven't stopped thinking about it. Kind of been a low-key year for Sandra Hüller. Because, yeah, she's the star of this film.
And the Zone of Interest.
Oh, she's in that too?
Sorry?
And she's in the Zone
Nothing.
of
Just go
Interest.
ahead. Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I was referring to. Yeah, so that was my favorite movie that I saw at that. And it was the first one. They knew what they were doing. They were starting it off with a
With a
bang.
bang.
But yeah, I had a weird experience watching that movie though.
Oh, really?
Because there was like someone that had like introduced the movie, but they were also like telling the people in the audience like what to experience when watching it. Like just they were pretty much just like mansplaining what they thought of the film and expected everyone to view it the same way that they saw it.
Oh, ew.
Eventually, someone in the audience was like, "Yo, dude, shut up!" and
Really?
I feel kind of bad because the person was clearly passionate and they just wanted to talk about the movie, but they were doing it in a very inappropriate way. So, yeah.
Damn. So they got
But yeah, that was.
tomatoed off the stage.
Boo, get off the stage.
Yeah, get off, nerd.
And it was like, fair enough, but also like, damn, at the same
Yeah.
time. It was like, I mean, yeah, I kind of did want him to go off though, because he was like speaking a lot, and he was like, yeah, he was just like being very weird. He was like, this is how you should go into the movie thinking of this. Don't think of this. Do this. And it's like, dude, you can't, I'm trying to look for the right word here, but like,
You can't control other people's experiences with the art.
you can't control another person's experience. There we go, that's the perfect word. Yeah. But yeah, then I saw, I also saw Close and EO again at some point.
Nice.
Those were great movies. And I saw, but I've talked about those already. I saw 20,000 Species of Bees as well. That was like a trance movie, so obviously I had to go watch it. And it was alright. I didn't really connect with it too much per se, but maybe that's just because of different cultures and experiences. I do like how they handled the subject matter. I think that was done very well. But overall, just in terms of the characters and the writing and stuff, I didn't really connect to it all super much. And then I watched The Teacher's Lounge, which was pretty great. I watched that right after watching Killers of the Flower Moon, so I was literally in the cinema for like 6 hours. Yeah, so I was kind of dead, but I did really enjoy the movie. And then I watched like a weird animated movie called Nayola. It was not very good. Yeah. And then I watched the new Ken Loach movie, The Old
What was
Ode,
that?
which I really
Oh,
enjoyed.
cool.
It was very sweet, and it was nice to see a Ken Loach movie that wasn't entirely depressing. So yeah. And
Is that even possible?
Sorry?
I was making a joke. It's like, is that even possible? Like a
Oh yeah.
not depressing Ken Loach movie? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a fun little time. And yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you. Yeah, for
Well,
sharing that. Yeah.
That's more film festival stuff than I can say I've done. All I did this year was see Blackberry at IFF Boston.
Well, that's still a pretty good movie to see in the film festival.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
a very
that's still a
good
pretty
movie.
good movie. Yeah, that counts. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I was gonna say, like, my thing with someone introducing the movie was basically the opposite of what Luka just said, because Matt Johnson himself was there introducing the movie, and he
Awesome,
basically was
yeah.
like, "Yeah, I really don't care if some of you people don't like this movie. I know, like, it's not for everyone." And I was like, "Okay, he's so real for that."
Yeah.
Matt Johnson's just seems like a really chill guy.
I mean,
So,
he was on stage wearing a blue Slayer t-shirt and a blue headband. I was just like, yeah, this dude's cool.
mhm.
Sounds like him.
The guy who introduced the All of Us Strangers
Yeah, I wonder.
screening basically like got the audience to cheer. They're like, "Who's here for Andrew Scott because they love Weekend?" You know, like nice cheer. Who's here because oh wait no, I got them confused. Who's here because they love Andrew Hay because of Weekend? Like nice cheer. Who's here because they like Andrew Scott? Like medium cheer. Who's here because they love Paul Mescal from Hot Paul Mescal? And then it's like the biggest fucking cheer I've ever seen in a theater.
Oh my god. I mean, damn, have you seen
Yeah,
After Sun? I would have cheered too.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean, I love how Paul Mescal has become this like fucking goat after Sudden. You know what? I couldn't be happier for him. I want him to have all the success in the world.
I feel like a lot of people know who Paul Mescal is, but a lot of people don't know what After Sun is.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And I think that's a
How does that make
problem. More
sense?
people
Yeah.
should know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I don't know how they found out who he was, but a
Maybe
lot of
they just
people
really
seem to know.
like
I said my piece.
Luka.
I said my piece.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I was just gonna make a joke about like maybe people are just really really passionate about Foe co-starring Saoirse Ronan and stuff
You
because
know,
Paul Mescal was in that, right? Yeah.
I was about to
So,
say a lot of
yeah.
people probably know Paul Mescal from one thing, and Jules just sent it into the chat, the freaking gif of him like freaking out when Ireland loses the rugby game in the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't
I
normal
love that
people a
video
pretty
so
big
much.
show?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the biggest thing he's been.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
haven't
many
seen it,
people
but I
were
heard it was
seeing,
really
like, The
really good.
Lost
So.
Daughter.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, he's gonna be big now because he's gonna be in Gladiator 2,
Oh yeah,
Glad
that's
2
right.
Theater.
Hell yeah, he is.
So, yeah.
Glad to
Yeah.
Ader.
Anyway.
Oh, sorry, Luka, you were saying something, or?
I watched Gladiator the other day for the first time.
What do you think?
The most circumstances.
Under the worst circumstances? What's the worst circumstances you could watch Gladiator in?
Okay. Box TV
Okay.
in French
Okay.
goes out my mind.
Yeah, that'll do
Never
it.
mind, I got it. That is definitely
Yeah.
the worst way you could watch that movie. I haven't seen that in a while. It's been at least 10 years. Definitely gonna have to do a rewatch.
Yeah, I'm gonna need I haven't seen it since I was like 14, 15, and I don't remember much of it.
It's so bad.
No, it's
It is
good.
actually like
It's great. What are you talking about?
like the no no. The rest of the movie kind of banging, honestly. The editing, god damn, dreadful. Actually
I
dreadful.
don't remember the editing being bad.
Yeah, and I'm assuming this is gonna be like a 20, 30 years later type sequel, because didn't Russell Crowe die in the first Gladiator?
Yeah, at the
Yes, he
end.
does. He dies at the end.
Yeah. So, I mean, unless they can bring Russell Crowe back somehow, like I'm just curious to see how they're gonna pull off a Gladiator sequel. So, but oh well, yeah. Either way, I'm just happy he's getting a lot of attention, doing shit, and hopefully he doesn't get sucked up by Marvel, or something.
Just in, Paul
Uh,
Mescal is playing Johnny Storm. Like, fuck! No, that's not happening.
That would be that would be awful. I mean, I don't even know what's that gonna look like, because didn't they already cast like Pedro Pascal for Mr. Fantastic or something like
Yeah,
that?
which is
Yeah.
of all the obvious choices that they could have done for that character. I didn't even think about him, and I don't know how.
Wait, are
like,
you
I was
serious?
just like, yeah, it was
Yeah,
announced like last
there- he's
week.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, like, they haven't, like, confirmed anything yet, but, like, they're, like, trying to get him to play Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four movie or something, so...
Too much. I
Um,
love Pedro, but too much, man. Too much.
He's just in so much shit. And I guess
Yeah.
he could just pull off playing a dad very well, because he was a dad in The Mandalorian, he was a dad in The Last of Us, and I
His
guess they
dad
just
in that
want
Robert Rodriguez
more...
movie.
I guess this confirms that Reed and Sue's kids are gonna be in that movie.
No. But that is a problem that we'll all probably complain about on Twitter at some point in the future. But
Yeah, I
not
can't
today.
wait.
Yeah. Today, instead, we have this other shit that we're going to complain about.
Oh man.
It's my recommendation. Yeah, Tales from Earthsea. Sorry, guys.
We're like
but
Tales
not
from
really.
shit sea.
Yeah.
Tales from Snore Sea, more like, because
Literally,
I was
dude.
fucking exhausted.
Dude, I am not kidding. This has never happened to me on a movie I've done a podcast for. I almost fell asleep 5 times when I was watching this last night.
Wow, I can't blame you because I also almost fell asleep a couple times while watching this as well.
It's so boring.
So
Like,
bad.
good God.
Yeah, well, okay, let me introduce the plot first because I guess I gotta. So yeah, Tales from Earthsea. It's a directorial debut of Hayo's son. Luka hated the movie so much.
Yeah, I
Luka
can't blame
hated it so much,
her there. That is like legit. That's how I was feeling for a second leaving the call because we started talking about the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, well, as I said, it's directed by Little Hayo Jr., Goro Miyazaki.
Ah, yes, The Omen,
Which,
of course.
yeah, which may I like to provide some context. So this was not only Goro Miyazaki's directorial debut. So this was the first movie he ever directed, but this was also his first animated related thing he ever worked on because before he was a landscape artist and he had no prior experience in animation. But the producer at Studio Ghibli said, "Fuck it, let's just get Goro because why the fuck not? Because we're drunk on power. Because we're Studio Ghibli. Because fuck it." So, but yeah, plot wise, fuck. I actually let me look at my notes because I actually forgot like most of the plot. I couldn't remember what happened. In most of the
I
movie.
was taking notes for like the first hour and then I just stopped because I was just like trying not to fall asleep and trying my best to pay attention. And I can't remember a damn thing that happened in the third act. Like I remember
Okay.
Willem Dafoe turned weird and decrepit and then he like died. And that's all I remembered.
Okay, so I have my notes up. So so a little boy, a prince, but not the prince from Princess Mononoke, this one, kills his dad because he's scared of dying or something, and then
It doesn't address
he
it.
meets and then he meets a wizard and they go on an adventure, but it's not like Lord of the Rings where it's fun. It's just really, really, really fucking boring, but also kind of confusing because they just introduce characters like halfway through the movie and then they just expect you to give a shit and care, but you really don't. Oh, and also they also pull a Count Dooku where they don't introduce the villain until like an hour into the movie, which by that point you just don't care at all
Some
what's happening
random ass
either.
witch lady.
Yeah, which here's the thing. You mention in the dub that like the Cobb, the villain, the witch, whatever, is voiced by Willem Dafoe.
Which I did
But
not
in
know
the
that.
sub yeah, in the sub they're voiced by like a female actress, so I'm just like confused as to like
Yeah.
what was there zero coordination behind this? Like
There
what's
had
going
to
on?
be because like my first thought, like when Cobb first showed up, like didn't hear the voice at all. But then like Willem Dafoe starts talking and the character turns around and I was just like, what the fuck? Like that does not work at all. And
Yeah,
he's
it's
like
just
doing. It's not like he's doing like his like Green Goblin like Spider-Man. Like he's not like doing that. He's doing like a freaking like yes, the boy, the Aaron or whatever the fuck his real name is. Like he's doing like his like lower Aaron Yeager.
Aaron Yeager.
Yeah, but he's not doing like anything over the top. Like it kind of just sounds like he's laying in bed doing his lines, which I'm almost 100% sure is what actually happened. But that's not even like the most jarring casting.
On the toilet or something.
Yeah, him and the person who voices Sparrowhawk in the English dub are the only two like very notable actors in this. Well, at least for the English version. Yes, freaking Simon Skinner. I own the local supermarché. He voices fucking Sparrowhawk, and he's actually not bad. Like it actually sounds like he's trying, but the fucking Defoe, it just makes no goddamn sense. It was completely distracting, if anything.
You know what's really fucking sucks about this movie is that, like, I could see a good movie in there, but the problem is that I feel like this entire thing is just fucked from the beginning because, like, from what I understand, this film is, like, an adaptation of, like, the third or fourth book of, like, the Earthsea novel series
It's
or
an
something, so
adaptation
already
of the
you're just
third
like...
and fifth mixed together. That's
Yeah,
what I read online.
so already we're just like, what the fuck? Like, we're already on a bad start. Because apparently, Sparrowhawk and the old farmer lady, I can't remember her name, apparently they're, like, really important characters in the book series. Like, apparently Sparrowhawk is this universe's version of Gandalf to the point, like, he's kind of like a godly figure or something. And then the farmer lady who like accompanies them, apparently she used to be like a high cultist priestess or something like that, and she's trying to like find like a sense of it's like none of this shit that like sounds interesting on papers in the movie. It's just like everything about this film is just the most generic basic bullshit fantasy like thing ever. It's just like nothing about this film is unique or interesting. All the characters suck. They have no character to begin with. They're more like archetypes or caricatures than like actual fleshed out characters. The bad guy is just evil because they don't want to die. I guess like none of the motivations in this movie made any sense. Like by the end of the film, I was still confused why Sparrowhawk even gave a shit about Aaron. I was still confused, like, why any of this mattered or, like, what the characters were motivated by. Like, I didn't even know, like, death was, like, a thing that the main character was afraid of because, like, halfway through the movie, he's just like, oh my god, like, dying is cringe. I don't want to die. And I'm just like, what?
No,
like, that was the main conflict of the movie?
Oh my god, I'm so scared
yeah,
of
like,
dying.
what?
Oh no,
Yeah.
Death.
No.
What am I gonna do?
You could just
Yeah,
not
yeah,
die.
you know what
Apparently,
this
all you
movie
needed to do
is?
was get...
No, you know what this
Yeah,
movie
just
is?
don't
This would
die.
be like if you started Harry Potter at Prisoner of Azkaban and then just rolled with it. It wouldn't work at all. Like, you have no
Exactly,
time.
yeah.
Like, who are these people? Like, why did this guy kill his father? Which, by the way, they try to address it in one scene. This pissed me off so much. He, like, goes like, I killed my own father. And then he starts talking about how he just has, like, this weird rage inside him where he feels like he's not the same person. I'm like, are you gonna explain why you killed your father now? Or are we just gonna brush
They
that
never
under the
do.
rug? And then that's
They-
exactly
they
what
never
happens.
Yeah.
They never explain why he killed his dad. He just fucking did it because...
Does it because whatever.
fuck it, I guess. Yeah,
He did it for a Louis
whatever,
belt.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Jesus,
prank.
there's
Yeah, he did it
It's
for the
just a
Vine,
prank,
you
bro.
know? The
Yeah,
Fetty Wap
yeah.
song starts playing and the beat drop hits right when he stabs his father.
Dad, why couldn't you die more gracefully? This is so cringe IRL. Like I'm trying to get this on my TikTok. So, like,
Oh my
Jesus Christ. Like yeah, like there's just before I keep ranting, like Luka, do you want to give your initial thoughts? What are because you out of all of us, you've rated this the highest out of all of us. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the film.
Yeah, I don't know why my mic just wasn't picking up what I was saying earlier, but what I was trying to say is that you guys were talking about almost falling asleep in this movie. Well, I did. I genuinely fell asleep. Like, this never happened to me before in the history of recording a Farrell film or watching a Farrell film's recommendation. Not once have I fallen asleep during a movie, but yeah, it happened in this one. And I mean, yeah, like I get all the critiques and I agree with them. I agree that this is a boring ass movie and the story is all over the place. It's muddled. You guys were talking about the villain earlier. I kind of like the villain, honestly. I kind of like this kind of drag-esque, kind of feminine, masculine, gender-bent kind of energy. I actually thought it was really cool. But besides that, and like besides the gorgeous visuals and pretty like kind of banging soundtrack and musical score, like yeah, there really is just nothing from this movie.
I also kind of dug the score, but there were bits, one scene in particular, the bit when Sparrowhawk like rescues Aaron from the slave train or whatever it was. The score sounds like Indiana Jones table scraps, and I
I
just couldn't
thought
get
the
it out of my
same
head.
thing. I thought the same thing. I thought I was crazy. I was like, "Isn't this
Yeah.
just Indiana Jones music? Like, what the what the
Yeah,
shit?"
it literally sounds like the freaking something out of like the Crusader theme from the Last
Yeah.
Crusade.
We have
Yeah,
John
so
Williams
I
at
think
home.
like maybe why I like this film the best is just because I was just in such a sleepy mood and I
You
was
got a good
barely
night's
paying
sleep from
attention,
it?
and all my brain,
Yeah, I
all my
certainly
brain
did.
was like, oh, pretty visuals and nice score. That's like pretty much all I was there for. So you know, it didn't bother me as much. And like I said, I did fall asleep twice, so the boredom definitely did get
Twice?
to me. Like, yeah. So I kind of just rode with the film for what it was. I did really like the visuals, and as much as like Goro gets hate, like I think this film did actually have some really nicely directed moments. Like there's moments where like the camera pushes are used very effectively, like especially like in the opening scene where he kills his father. Like there's like this great camera push as he like takes out the knife and like runs towards him. And honestly, I think the first like 30 minutes, if they built off the things that happened in the first 30 minutes like actually effectively, I think it could have been like actually a really great like little Ghibli adventure film. But obviously they didn't do that. It kind of goes nowhere. They introduce like dragons in the very beginning of the movie, and then you like don't even see them again.
Until the
Never
end of
brought
the
up
film
again.
where this lady like transformed
Yeah,
into a
it's
dragon
just like-
out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
I completely
By the
forgot
end,
the
I was
dragons
just like-
were even a thing.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
exactly. Yeah, by the end of the movie, I was just like, "Oh yeah, they're dragons."
Yeah, I
in
was like,
this
wait, what the fuck's
movie.
happening? Why is she
Okay.
transforming into a
Cool.
dragon? I was like, oh,
Yep.
yeah.
the
that's
funniest, the
That
funniest
also
thing,
made no sen-
the funniest thing about me forgetting that there were dragons in the film by the time the ending rolled around is the first note I took was dragon fight. That's pretty awesome.
I didn't even bother taking notes for this, honestly.
I only took 7.
I, you know, dozed off. But yeah, like, I don't know. I don't think it's like dreadful. I think it's just meh. It's just meh to me, you know.
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's not even the worst. It's not even the worst Ghibli movie. Like Earwig and the Witch is like actual ear rape. Like I can't stand
That's
that
a terrible
movie. Like so, yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's obviously
Thankfully, I
worse
have not
than this.
seen
But
it.
there's
Yeah,
just
I haven't.
something about this where oh sorry, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. I get Luca's point, but I guess like what I'm so frustrated about is like I guess what I'm so mad about is that the movie just could not fucking decide what it wanted to be. Because, like, the first, like, 20 to 30 minutes, like, yeah, like, if it, like, just kept being whatever it was for the first 20 to 30 minutes, like, it could have been fun, you know? Like, it could have been, like, sort of like a Princess Mononoke type, like, fantasy, like, action adventure type movie. But then, like, in the middle of the movie, it just decides to be, all right, we're just gonna dick around on a farm. We're gonna help grow some crops, and none of this is advancing the story if there was any story. None of this is really doing anything. It's not even developing the characters. It literally is just wasting time. It's just wasting time on shit that doesn't matter. Just
Yeah,
like
this feels like in that second Avengers movie when they just like take a break to go to fucking Hawkeye's house or something.
yeah, it's almost like that. Yeah, and I just wish it developed into something. You know, like this could have gone in so many directions, but it decides to do nothing, and then just nothing happens in general. Like the bad guy just becomes some weird like gloopity glop like Coraline ass creature because they didn't want to die, but that wasn't established beforehand because beforehand they were just a cartoon villain that just was evil because they were evil, and it's and I the
They're
reason
literally
my thoughts are so
introduced.
yeah, the reason why my thoughts are so disjointed about this movie because this whole film is disjointed. It just like moves on from one thing to the next without a fucking care in the world. It's like, oh, there are slaves. Cool. All right, next thing. Hey, there's wizard crack. There's apparently crack in
Oh
this
yeah, they
movie,
just
and there are
touch on that for
crackheads
like
in the
one
film.
scene, and I was like, is that gonna be like a plot point? And they just don't come back to
I
it.
was like,
No, it doesn't
dude,
come back
I was like,
at all. It's like, what the
What
fuck?
why was that
dude,
even
I
mentioned?
saw Studio Ghibli crackheads, and I was pointing at my TV like fucking Rick Dalton. Like I was just like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah. I
Whoa,
was like, oh,
there's crack in
hell
this
yeah.
universe?
That sounds
Like,
awesome.
Oh, there I am. Am I right, fellas? No.
yeah. Like, make a movie about that. Make a Studio Ghibli Breaking Bad, but with
Make
this
like a
wizard
Jasper in a
crack.
way,
Like, just do
like
that
Studio
instead.
Ghibli film.
You're gonna have me
Yeah,
look up on Google
exactly.
Images right now, Walter White and Studio Ghibli animation. But
Oh,
but
I'm sure there's something like that out there.
no, but you're so right about how like Cobb as the main villain is literally just introduced as a typical like Saturday morning cartoon evil person. Like the camera is camera, it's animated film, but you get what I mean. But it's literally pointed to behind their chair. And it's just like some sinister laughing and like mumbling back there. All you're missing is like the white cat for the one hand to be stroking over on one arm of the chair.
I'm surprised they weren't wearing like a top hat and a monocle. Like they might as well just have done that too. Like where been like some oil tycoon be like, "Yes, I am the owner of this massive company." Like they might
It's
as
like
well
another
just done that
Blofeld
too.
ripoff, basically.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just Jesus Christ. And it's so fucking boring too. Like I know we keep mentioning that, but I just cannot stress how boring this
so
film is. Like
long.
look,
Like most Studio Ghibli's films
it's
are
so
like
long that
90
they
minutes, like at max. This film's
No,
fucking 2 hours.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I probably watched this with like in the worst circumstance because I literally put this on right when I got back home from seeing Alexander Payne's new movie, The Holdovers. And that movie was longer than this, but felt way shorter. This felt like a goddamn eternity.
Yeah, it's just it takes so long to do nothing. Like it's like it's so long for literally no reason. Like I could have cut like half of the movie and it would barely change anything. It's like then what's the fucking point? Like why did you make this so long, Goro?
They literally stole like a lot of the character designs from Princess Mononoke.
Yeah,
Like,
they're traced over.
did you
Oh
guys
yeah, they
notice
did
that?
I did
yeah.
notice that.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
is that just
they
me?
stole no, they stole the deer horse thing from Princess Mononoke in this movie.
And then like,
And then
and the main boy looks exactly like the main boy from
He
Princess
does.
Mononoke.
he looked exactly like Prince
And
Ashitaka.
not
yeah.
only
So-
that, but the Eren Yeager looked exactly like what's that girl? What's the girl's name that was going around with him? Tiruru.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They looked like they had the exact same face. Like I'm not even joking. It looked like the same fucking like that they just traced
Yeah,
over the face, and that's
they
why
could
she had
be,
like a
like,
birthmark on her
siblings.
face for no reason. Was to just
That
to
birthmark,
distinguish
dude.
them. Like I don't know if that's just me, if I'm imagining that or not. But like, did you guys notice that?
No,
Yeah,
I
I
completely
kinda
agree
did.
with you. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say that freaking birthmark kind of reminded me of like Olivia Cook's character.
Ready
in
Player One.
Player
Yeah, I was
One.
I
thinking
was
that.
gonna say
Yeah.
the exact
Yeah.
same thing.
You don't want to see
I'm
me in
ugly.
real life.
I have a
birthmark.
Yeah, I'm so ugly.
With the whole character design thing, like the two that we just mentioned, like they looked similar, but like they did change up just a few things,
Just a
smidge of
tad.
things. But the one thing that I noticed where the characters literally looked identical is in Princess Mononoke. There's like a guy very early on in the movie that like kind of like
the spy?
short, like spy person,
Yeah.
his
I love that
character
guy.
model is used as like the robber person early on in like this movie. Like they are exactly the same. Like the short old dude with like the mole on their face and the like kind of stubby like wrinkly face. Like they literally are the exact same character. Like not even a joke. Like yeah.
He
I
moved on
noticed
from
that
spying
too.
and started selling crack to kids.
Yeah.
Maybe that was just thrown
It
out.
might be the same character. Yeah, it's just like
Maybe it's the exact same person. Maybe that was like supposed to be a reference or something. But like, yeah, it was just like
Reference
it
to
was
what,
crazy,
though?
like how much inspiration I guess this kind of failed to adapt from Mononoke, because like, yeah, in a sense they kind of are similar movies, but also not really. Like, yeah, it's weird. What I got out of this movie was that, like, Goro, he clearly was just very inspired by his pops, and wasn't able to capture that same sense of magic at all. But he tried. He tried. It was
it honestly
it was a blunder for sure, but I still think that there is small elements about this that have a bit of spark to them. But yeah, overall,
it's funny.
Not a good movie. Not a good movie.
Yeah.
No,
It's
certainly
funny
not.
you mentioned the whole like, oh, Goro was clearly trying to mimic like Miyazaki's style. Hayao, I should really start emphasizing that. Because this felt like, in a way, kind of like a weird like AI generated like Hayao Miyazaki movie. Like if like ChatGPT was like
Yes.
saw all of Miyazaki's movies and then was tasked with like generating like a AI generated Miyazaki fantasy adventure, like this would be exactly it. Like a lot of the dialogue feels like so AI generated too. It's just a bunch of exposition dumps. But like most of the times the exposition doesn't matter. Like they're just like something death, wizards, dragons, crack, something like that. Like it's all
Crack.
exposition, but it just doesn't fucking matter. Like you said, like they introduce like wizard kraken crackheads, but then that just never comes back in the movie. Like they introduce dragons in the beginning of the movie and that just never is brought up again until like the last like 10 minutes. It's like it just feels like so much dialogue
Yeah.
is wasted on expanding on a world that honestly isn't even that interesting. Like I don't really see how this is any like how this universe is like more special than like Middle Earth from Lord of the Rings or like Harry Potter's wizarding. Like what about this universe is so special? Like I'm sure in the books like
The crack.
they expand upon the
Yeah,
world. Yeah, the crack. Yeah, they have crack.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's one thing, I guess. But like, what else? You know?
Yeah,
So-
to me, it's funny. I actually said this like exact thing to you last night when I was watching the movie while I was texting you. The fucking
Uh-huh.
Goro clearly does not have the ability to give a movie like the soul and purpose it needs, that same ability that his father has. Like you said, this feels like an AI generated version of one of his father's movies because it lacks all the soul. It just feels like a hollow thing that's just there.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's
It's
just
The time to mention the video of Miyazaki walking
I have
out
not
of
heard
the
of this.
screen.
Yeah.
oh yeah. I was gonna mention this,
Had.
but yeah,
Still
yeah,
got the
yeah.
line.
Yeah.
God damn.
Well, if I'm not
So,
mistaken,
John-
wasn't Ponyo written as an apology to his son for treating him like shit after this came out?
Basically. Well,
Okay,
he
so at least
modeled-
we got that movie out of this, I'll say that.
It kind of sucks.
Well, the thing is, though, is
I like Ponyo.
no,
it's
Ponyo's a
fine.
good movie. Shut up, Jules. Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry, Jules, you were saying something.
Yeah, it's just like
before.
adding on to what
okay.
John was saying, that it's just like I'm watching the movie and it's like it's trying to be like, it's trying to have a sense of adventure. It's trying to be like, this is like a fun kind of fantasy thing, and I'm meant to be like really immersed in the world with all its like drug addiction and whatever, the fucking dragons. But it's just like there's nothing. There's no like hook for me to like latch onto. Like, I don't like this character. Like, why did he kill his dad? I don't like this random like girl who just like kind of hates him for no reason for like a little bit.
Yeah, literally. What's your problem?
Yeah, like what do you...
Then,
Is what
but
I
then
was
she
just-
likes him, like,
Yeah, but then she
suddenly.
likes
like,
him out
she
of
sings
nowhere.
one song in the middle of a field.
And I don't like
Yeah.
this like weird
It's
like
like,
random
what?
Gandalf wizard. Like, none of these characters are, like do anything for me, and I don't care about the world at all. Like, I don't give a shit about like the famine of the people, which, by the way, they never solve. By the way, as far as we know, that famine still like goes on like after the film is done.
There was a famine?
Yeah,
don't
what
even
the fuck are
remember
you
this.
talking about?
Yeah, there was. I
Is it
didn't
a
know there was a
famine or
famine
like
going on.
the king was saying like the people are suffering, like we're not in good
I must have
times
almost
right
been falling
now.
asleep during that
yeah,
part.
okay, now I remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was also worthless. They have like a council meeting, but then it just doesn't fucking matter. It didn't mean anything to the plot. Yeah.
So as far as we know, the kingdom is still in like suffering and like death
Shambles.
era.
You know,
Yeah,
I
there's
have
still
the most like
slavery, and they never
bizarre.
solved that problem either.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I'm
you know,
about to
that's
drop
still
an
going on.
insanely bizarre comparison here when it comes to like world building with like a drug that's basically like your big thing of like, oh, this is what drug addicts in this world use. Has anyone here seen the 2012 Dread movie?
A long time ago.
I have not, but I heard it's really
That-
good. Yeah.
That movie introduces a drug that people are addicted to, and unlike this movie, it actually uses that in the plot and doesn't make you forget that it exists. So, I don't know, just a quick bizarre comparison I thought of how you should introduce an original drug into a movie as opposed to this, where it's like, Hatsia heads. Those guys are fucked up.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on.
Or like
Yeah,
I
and
thought he
it's
was
just,
gonna like
again-
turn
the way
Cobb
they-
into a drug
the way
addict at the end of the
I
movie.
forget what the thing is named, but the drug from Snowpiercer that Song Kang Ho
Oh, yeah.
has.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
He uses to make
yeah.
the bomb at
Mhm.
the end of the film.
Yeah, it meant something at the end. Like, he wasn't just like, lol, he's a drug addict. That's it. That's it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it actually meant something at the end of the plot, you know? And it just
Yeah,
nothing. Like, by the end of the movie, I honestly forgot what the hell happened in like the first half of the film. Like, I'm near the end, and I was just like, damn, so what happened? Like, he killed his dad, and then some shit happened afterwards. It's like I genuinely was struggling to remember the plot, but it's
Yeah.
just so. It feels like the movie doesn't even know what it's about. Like, it randomly introduces this fear of death, like, halfway through the movie, but that wasn't set up at all. I didn't even know that was what the whole entire movie was about. Like, is that why he killed his dad? Like, was he scared
I'm
that he
scared
won't
of
live up
death.
to
I'm
his
gonna
dad's
kill my father.
expectations? Was his dad an abusive piece of shit? Was his dad just like, what was your fucking problem, man? Like,
Yeah. Well, quickly to go back to quickly to go back to Dread, like you just said about how the drug in Snowpiercer is used to make the bomb at the end of the film. That movie also doesn't pay off with the drugs, as Carl Urban forces the main villain to fucking take it, and it's a
Oh,
drug
yeah,
called
yeah,
slow mo,
yeah,
which
that's a
makes
great
time
scene.
go 800% slower. He forces the main villain to take it, and then throws her out a window, and she falls 200 stories to her death in slow motion. It's
Such a
beautiful.
good scene.
that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
you should
it
watch- you
bangs
should
to
watch
me.
it,
I think
Timmy.
you'd like that movie. You should watch it.
No, I've
I
been
wanna
meaning to watch
again
it.
now.
Yeah, it's I heard it's really good.
Yeah, I know. I might
Yeah,
pop it on after this.
I
yeah.
watch it
So-
tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Sorry?
What was that, Luka?
Have you not seen it, Tim?
Timmy has not seen Dread.
I've seen
He hasn't
clips.
seen
I've
anything.
seen clips of it, but I've never like I've seen clips of it, but I've never seen like the whole movie. So, I remember I don't watch good movies. Remember? That's my thing. I don't watch good movies. That's keep
Yeah,
up here.
Yep.
you're right.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, but yeah,
So-
that's a better example of how you set something up and then pay it off perfectly at the end of the film. Like, I completely forgot the crackheads were a thing until I looked at your review after I watched the movie. I was just like, oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right. That looked
That
like
was
Methadone
that is
Mile here in
sincerely-
Boston.
Yeah, I'm not even joking. That is sincerely the one thing that latched onto my memory out of this entire. How long is this? Like almost 2 hour long movie.
Hour
That was the only thing
55, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, and like that was the only thing that like I vividly remember, and it didn't matter in the plot. Like it didn't matter in the end. So it was like I remembered a stupid. I remember a stupid like fact. That was about it. Like it didn't mean anything. It was just a funny thing that I thought that I liked laughing about. So
Legit, the only
yeah,
thing I
it was-
remembered from this movie was just the fact that Willem Dafoe was voicing what I'm assuming is a non-binary character, because I genuinely could not tell. Because I don't know, it's such like an interesting character because has like the appearance of a woman, but has like the voice of a man.
they don't
You know
do
what I
anything
mean?
with that. Like that would have been an interesting like that would have been something. That could have been a cool like exploration into the character, but they didn't do that, you know?
I'm like also
Sorry,
just
Luka,
like
what
I'm
were you
curious on what Luca's thoughts are on that character personally.
Yeah.
Like, how do like if you watched the dub and heard Willem Dafoe's voice, what is that like?
I watched the dub, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm not alone.
I don't know. I like the villain. Like, sure, like just on a pure aesthetic level, I really like the villain. In terms of like backstory or writing or importance to the plot or whatever, obviously, it means nothing to this movie, like most things in this movie. But
Yeah.
out of pure aesthetics, I like the villain a lot. I think they were really cool.
I did like the
design.
Marilyn Manson look that character was going for there.
I wonder if that was what you were going for.
Should have gotten Marilyn Manson to voice the character. He was not an asshole that we knew of at the time.
Yeah, back in the day, we didn't know, he was an asshole. That was why he was in like Clone High, like a random episode. It's like, yeah, Marilyn Manson's a good guy. We'll never regret this decision ever.
I forgot.
It's
I
not gonna
forgot
come back
what
to bite
show.
that.
I forgot what show it's in, but there's like this TV show where two of the main characters in an episode go to Ruby Tuesdays, and Marilyn Manson makes a cameo as the waiter, and he's not wearing any of his makeup. It's the most jarring thing you could ever look at.
Mm. Yeah, I love how we're all taking these tidbits to avoid talking about the movie.
Yeah, see, that's
And
what
I
me and
couldn't be-
Jack do when we talk about bad movies. It works.
Something I want to point
There's
out
nothing
is,
to say about.
I know it's just a whole load of nothing.
yeah,
It-
it's like a nothing
But
movie. It
here's the-
came and it went one ear and out the other. Like it entered my mind and then left it.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the most forgettable movies
But-
I think I've ever watched. Genuinely.
You guys know how Jeremy Johns is always just like, yeah, you're not gonna remember this movie in T-1 day. That is literally how I feel about this movie because,
I wouldn't know
like I
that.
said, I saw the holdovers first. Fair enough, but I saw the holdovers before I watched this, and I could probably close my eyes and put that entire movie in my head through imagination right now. I can't remember more than like 3 minutes of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
I barely even remember the final, like, confrontation of everything in the movie, and that was the bit I was awake for. So,
how
like,
do they
Me
even
too.
beat the bad guy again? Like they just like
Yeah, that's what I was
shine
about
light
to
on the
point
bad
out.
guy
Is
and
that,
then
they don't
and then
even,
melted.
is that Eren Yeager doesn't even fucking beat the bad guy. It's the girl.
Eren Yeager.
But it's like Eren Yeager's the
Yeah,
one that's
the
set
girl
up
like
to
gets
defeat
the girl like
bad
quote
guy,
unquote
like-
gets killed, which actually made me laugh my ass off because I thought they actually killed her off, and I was like, no way,
Yeah.
the movie's that
by,
dumb.
like burying her in a
Did she? So I was so confused. So like they kept talking about. I think there was like a chosen one angle like in this movie somewhere, and they kept
I
making
don't
it seem
remember.
like Eren Yeager. I think there was something like that, and they kept making it seem like Aaron Yeager was the chosen one, the boy who lived, blah 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 blah, whatever.
Come
But
to
then it was like,
die.
oh, actually, it was the dragon girl. She's the chosen one who didn't live. Like what? Like they didn't do anything to set this up. This just comes out of nowhere. It's just like, yep, she's a dragon now because fuck it, why not?
Why didn't she
You
just
know,
do that
There
in
are
the
so
first
many
place? I don't know.
movies. There are so
why
many
didn't she use her
movies that
dragon
handle that
powers from the
cliche
very
better.
beginning?
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, there's so many movies that handle that whole, like, you think the lead character's the, quote, chosen one, but it actually turns out to be the secondary character. Like, there's so many movies that handle that prospect so much better than this, it's not even funny. I can't
Yeah,
think of any
it's just-
examples right now, but I'm sure there's some.
Yeah, no, I can't think of any, but I'm like, it's I the whole like, oh, actually, it was the dragon girl, who was who was the chosen one the whole time. I was so bored and so uninvested. When that happened, I didn't even get like a groan or like a scream out of me. I just like kept watching with like a blank face. I was like, okay, I guess this is happening now. It's just like I just wanted something to happen so badly, but nothing happened. I wasted 2 hours of my life, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
And like, yeah,
Jesus
like the
Christ.
animation is nice. The animation is nice. Like, I'll give it that, and like the music was good, but like, how much of this can we really credit to like Goro, and how much can we like just say like this is just typical Studio Ghibli shit? Like every Ghibli movie has nice animation. Every Ghibli movie has good music. Like how much of that is just really Goro's work to begin with? It's
Not
like,
all of them.
Yeah, Earwig and the
oh,
Witch.
which one doesn't have any? Oh, well, oh God, fuck! It really.
Wait,
God
guys, I'm gonna
damn it.
piss off Timmy even more. Fresh news off the internet ticker here. A live-action Naruto movie is in the works.
Oh, fucking great!
Literally 2
Great,
minutes
I'm
ago,
so-
discussing
2 minutes
film,
ago,
just
hot
tweeted
off the
that.
press.
I'm so fucking happy right now. Great, thanks a lot. I
I don't care that he's fucking, like, in his 50s. They should just bring Yuri Lowenthal in to play the live-action Sasuke in that.
They really just should. I
Oh
want to.
my
Okay,
God.
I think we're all done talking about this movie, but before we give our ratings and stuff and stop talking about this piece of shit, I kind of want to briefly talk about like the production of the film. And Luca hinted at this at the beginning, but I honestly find the production of this movie like 100 times more interesting than the actual film. So basically, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and by galaxy I mean like the 1980s. So Hayao, the only reason Ghibli even got their hands on the source material is because Hayao Miyazaki was like a huge fan of the books, and at the time when Hayao was sent an offer letter saying like, "Hey, we'd love to adapt your books." Apparently, the author of the series, Ursula K. Le Guin, and hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Apparently, like she didn't know what anime was, so when she thought that. So when she was told that they wanted to make an animated Ghibli movie of her series, she thought they meant like they were going to turn it into like a Disney movie, like Robin Hood or some shit. So she was just like, "No, thank you. I'm okay. I'm good." Um, but then years down the road, she apparently watched My Neighbor Totoro for the first time, and she loved the movie so much that she changed her mind and offered the rights to Ghibli and Miyazaki, who was like, "Hey, I turns out I like anime now, so please adapt my books into movies. I would love for you to do that." But at the time, Miyazaki was not only working on Howl's Moving Castle, but he also was announcing that he would be retiring after Howl. I mean, he also said that about Spirited Away, and then Ponyo, and
Look
then
where
The
we
Wind
are
Rises,
now.
and then and then where we are now. So like obviously that was like a bunch of horse shit. But at the time, he was like gonna commit to retirement, so he couldn't adapt the book. But even if he wanted to, like he was still working on Howl's Moving Castle. So the producer of Studio Ghibli was like, "Hey, why don't we get Hayao's son Goro to direct the movie?" And I mentioned this before. He was a landscape artist who had zero experience in animation, so I don't know why the fuck he thought this was a good idea, but he's the son of Hayao Miyazaki. I guess he's gonna do something because here and Yeah, he's got to have it in him. Yeah. So it's like, fuck it. So, and apparently this pissed off Hayao Miyazaki so much that like he like actively refused to speak with Goro and like tried to constantly like sabotage the production, and he refused to give up any notes or advice, and he basically like had to make the movie.
Bitch.
He not only Yeah, he was really being
What a
petty. Like
hater.
Goro not only needed to know how to make the movie, he also needed to know how to like make a movie in general. Like he had to make a movie while also learning how to make a movie at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like we're already like on a really great landing here. And Luca briefly mentioned this when they finally finished the film and they like hosted an early screening of the movie. Hayao Miyazaki showed up to the theater and then watched like half of it and then left to take a smoke break. And keep in mind, all of this was on camera. Like they were making a documentary about like the making of like Tales from Earthsea or about Hayao Miyazaki or something. It was like a documentary. The documentary crew followed him and recorded all of this shit. And while he was like smoking his cigarette, he was just like, "Man, my son is such a fucking disappointment. Like my son hasn't grown up. My son's not an adult. My son's still a little baby who can't, do shit." And it's like, okay, taking aside our feelings about this movie, taking aside the fact that this movie sucks balls, that is such an asshole thing to do. Like, dude,
That's
this is
so
your own son
funny.
and you're being recorded live. Like, why the fuck are you shit talking him on his own
That's so
premiere on
funny.
camera? Like, couldn't you just tell them this like on the car ride home or something? Be like, "Son, I'm gonna be honest. That movie sucked balls." So like, couldn't you just done that? Like, but apparently, okay, so long story short, he finished his smoke break, finished the movie, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And then I guess something happened between them where like he tried to like he knew he like treated his son like shit, so he like tried to make up for it in Ponyo. Apparently, the main boy character Sosuke was modeled after Goro when he was like 7 or 8 years old or something like that. So he's like trying to make steps to like repair his relationship with Goro, and then apparently, he wrote from Up on Poppy Hill, which was Goro Miyazaki's second movie. And he was much more like helpful and like active and like making sure that Goro like knew what the fuck he was doing and making a good movie. And I'm sure him writing the script also helped as well. And I guess they're good pals now, I guess, because Hayao Miyazaki is an executive producer on Earwig of the Witch and all that shit. So yeah, that's the story. The point I'm trying to say is that the story surrounding this movie is like infinitely more interesting than the actual movie itself, and I highly recommend like checking out I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere, just like
Yeah,
the
I just
clip
found
of
it.
Hayao Miyazaki, yeah, leaving the theater to take a smoke break. It's somewhere out there, but it's really, really
That
fucked
reminds
up,
me
but also
of
kind
such
of
a funny
entertaining to
story
watch.
about
Yeah.
Have you guys ever?
So fun. I love it. Yeah, anyway, sorry, Jules.
Yeah, I was gonna say that reminded me of a story that I heard about these. It was in a book I read semi recently, which was about Star Wars, and there was a chapter dedicated to these like super fans who like camped outside the first theater that was showing the Phantom Menace for a month. And on
Yeah.
like the night of like the big like George Lucas premiere, Francis Ford Coppola, he came out of the theater halfway through and like smoked a massive cigar for half an hour, and people asked him like, one guy tried to take a photo with him, like a sneaky photo, and then Coppola like came over and smacked the phone out of his hand and said, "If you want to take a photo, do it properly." And then they asked him, "Why are you not watching the film?" And he said, "Oh, I've just seen bits and pieces of it before." Which I think they later said should have been an early red flag.
I think I remember there also being a video where after like the crew screening for Phantom Menace ended, you can find footage of this somewhere, but like they all like look at George and then he's just kind of like, "Oh yeah, that movie didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to."
Yeah, I've seen that clip.
It's so
It's so
fucking funny.
Yeah. Well, the moral of the story is, I don't know what the moral of the story is. I don't think I've been this mad
Don't be a dick to
discussing
your
a
son,
movie
otherwise
on
bad
this.
product comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. That's the moral of the story. Because I don't think I've been this mad about
Let a man be a
discussing it.
landscape
Like, not even like,
artist.
Yeah, the moral of the story is be a landscape artist, don't be an animation director. Because like I
Exactly.
wasn't this mad when we were talking about I wasn't this mad when we were talking about Southland Tales or Bone Alone. Like I don't know why this is the movie that got me this mad. I guess it's just because I love Ghibli so much and this is just such a stupid piece of shit. Yeah, it's anime, so again bias, but not my fault. So, but anyway, this is I gave this a 3, but in all honesty, I kind of want to give it a 2 because it's somewhere there, I guess. It's like a 2 or 3 out of 10. Yeah. So, but there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I rated it at a 3, so 1.5 stars, but after discussing it, I think I'm lowering it down to 1 star. Like, just,
Oh wow.
God damn, what a mess, man. What a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really forgettable movie.
Yeah,
Some nice animation here and there, but just like, Christ, what a fucking mess. As John said, 2 out of 10.
I really don't think it's that bad. I really don't mind it. It doesn't leave like a awful stain in my mind. I'm just like, yeah, that's bad, but there's some nice stuff about it. Also, one time I played a D&D campaign based on this movie, except like they made it really good, so maybe I have positive memories of that. But yeah, 4 out of 10.
Can we just adapt that D&D campaign into a movie instead?
Yeah, honestly, just do that instead. Yeah. So-
Yeah, not good, but meh.
Yeah.
I don't really mind it too much. Yeah.
I think what sucks though is that like I keep hearing that the books are really yeah. Thank you, Charles. I think what really sucks is that like I've heard these books are really really good. Like I've heard they're like
Well, they're
just as
nothing
influential
like
as
the
like
film,
Dune or
apparently,
like
so
Lord of the
it
Rings.
would still be a pure experience.
Yeah, Oh, you want to know what's
something
another
new.
weird thing that this movie did? I totally forgot to mention this, but apparently the books are like very, very like racially diverse. Like it features a lot of like racially diverse characters. But in this movie, they're just all like a weird hybrid of like white and Asian anime characters, and I was just like, why'd you do that? Like, I thought that was like a defining feature of the book series that it features like a cast of diverse racially like why'd you make all these
That's
like
very...
either like vaguely Asian or vaguely white? Like, why'd you do that? You know, like, so. But yeah, I mean,
That's
the movie didn't even
interesting.
make me interested in reading. Yeah, the movie didn't even make me interested in reading the books, which sucks because apparently the books are really good, but like this this movie made me less interested in the books. That's how much I hate the film. So, um but yeah, cool. I mean, it wasn't that cool, but you know, glad we could have this discussion. I guess. I don't know. um anyway,
Should
do
I
we want
watch
to move on
Up
to
on
the
Poppy Hill, though?
recommend?
Is it worth seeing?
Yeah, I mean, it's much better than this movie, if that's what you're wondering.
Okay.
But the ending was just the ending is really, really weird. I'll just say that. So, um, but yeah, it's much better than this. If that's what you want me to say, like it's still like
It's
a
worth a
lower
watch.
tier like Ghibli movie. Like I saw it like once, and like I haven't thought about it since. So, but yeah. Like, I like taking aside like Hayao Miyazaki, there are plenty of like non-Miyazaki Ghibli movies that are worth more of your time. You know, like Isao Takahata movies are really good. Um,
You still haven't seen
fucking
Grave of
what's
the
it called?
Fireflies, though.
I saw it a long time ago.
Oh,
I
good
just
God, I
never
heard
gave it a
that movie is
rating.
so sad.
It's
the
very
best- that's the
depressing. I
best
saw it a
Ghibli
long
film
time
that
ago, and I
there ever
haven't
will
seen
be.
it since.
Or ever has been.
Oh, really? Maybe we should recommend it at some point.
I will.
So, Jules recommending an anime. That's far fetched.
And a Studio Ghibli one at that you haven't seen. Well, you have seen, but...
No, I have seen it. Yeah,
Well, if you
I just a
haven't
long
logged
time
in on
ago. I
Murder
never
hell
gave
House,
it
would
a
as
you
far
guys
as I'm
even talk
concerned,
about
you
that?
haven't
Isn't that-
watched it.
Okay.
Wait, correct me
all
if I'm
right.
wrong, but isn't that movie like about like people trying to survive like the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings?
It's not about the
No,
bombings. It's
fire
about
bombings.
something else. But it's that's about the fire
Oh,
bombings.
okay.
It's
The epic
Okay, so it
bombings.
wasn't the big one. Got it.
It was not an
Mhm.
Oppenheimer
Yeah.
prequel.
Yeah, no, it was, but yeah, and
A
yeah,
mean double
so
feature: Oppenheimer and Grave of the
Hammer
Firefly.
Fireflies. That would be that would be.
Christ. Well, no, wait till James Cameron makes his nuke film finally, and then we'll see.
That'll
can
never
double feature
happen.
them.
He's making a nuke film.
Yeah, he is.
Excuse me, sorry, I lagged out for a second there. He's gonna be doing Avatar for the rest of his fucking life.
No, yeah, I was gonna say he's doing Avatar shit, man. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
He made he's working on a script apparently for a film about the guy who survived both Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Alright, now that'll
wow.
be a mean double feature with Oppenheimer if that gets made.
All those people who said Oppenheimer should have shown the bombings can shut up when that movie
Yeah, well,
comes
they're
out.
fucking idiots. Like,
Now you get
He
nothing
said he
but
might
the
make it
bombings
in
this
between
one.
Avatar
So.
3 and 4, so here's hoping.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll see
You know
it
what
on
I can't
line
believe?
25.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but that probably
See-
will mean like Avatar 5 will get pushed back. Like when I
don't
saw the
fucking
release
care.
date
I wanna
for
see,
Avatar
I want to
5,
see
I
that
was
movie
like,
more than Avatar. I'll be real.
but
Damn.
the scary realization is that I'm gonna be over 30 by the time the last Avatar movie will come out, and I'll just have this like existential crisis where it's like, man, this franchise started when I was 8 years old, like, and now I'm like a grown ass adult with like, like ideally with like a kids and family, and we're watching fucking Avatar 5. You know,
Dog,
So-
I'm gonna be
The first
married when
movie
Avatar
came
5
out
comes
when
out.
when my brother wasn't even born yet, like months before he was born, and the second movie came out when he was in his first year of fucking high school.
Yeah, the first Avatar movie came out when I was in elementary school, and the second one just came out, and I just turned 24, like, after it came out. Good God.
An Avatar movie was not released in my high school years. The first
Yeah.
one came out when in primary school, I think.
Not even when
And
I was in
then-
primary school. I was still in childcare when that movie came
And
out.
then
Or kindergarten, or whatever the fuck.
and then I waited all my high school years, and then the year after that, the
Yeah.
second one came out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
think
took
I
me
remember
all-
production on the second one started, like, while I was in high school.
Yeah, they shot it in like 2017
I was
or
done-
something crazy.
Yeah.
I was almost done with college by the time Avatar 2 came out. Like that's how fucking long this was in in development and shit. Yeah. So
I was in my second
Anyway,
to
I always
last
forget
year of
how young you
kindergarten when
guys
the first
are.
one came out, and I was in my second to last year of high school when the second one came out.
I always forget
We-
how fucking young you guys are because I graduated high school in 2017.
Yeah, okay. Did you know the dinosaurs too?
No, but I did see Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 in the theater when I was a kid, so I am a geezer,
so
you
lucky
could say.
here.
Or a geezer?
Yeah, because I was too young to. I mean, I was 4 when Spider-Man 2 came out. So you're. I mean, we're not.
I
that-
was
that age.
5.
Yeah,
Come on, you could have
so-
manned up and went.
I mean, I was also a dumb 4-year-old. I didn't know anything about movies when I was 4, other than the Bionicle movie. You know.
You should have come out of the movie
Won't I?
watching. You should have come out of the womb watching Satan Tango.
Well, when you're like me and the first like actual real live action movie you ever watched was the first Spider-Man, you pick up on idiosyncrasies from directors really fucking quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just I had questions, but let's just skip that and save them for next episode. So yeah, Jules, what are we watching? Recommend
Alright,
us
the
the
movie we
next
are
movie.
watching is a long-awaited Farah Films recommendation. I've talked about this
Oh,
literally
boy.
since the very first episode, I think, or even before that. One of my all-time favorite films, and I'm not going to stretch this out. It is Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Oh, I saw
Hell
that
yeah!
in theaters too, to
Yes!
remind you how old I am.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Jules. Thank you. Finally. Oh my god.
I won't
good
even be
movie.
on
He
that
recommended
episode, but I think I'm
a
gonna
bad
rewatch that.
animated film. I've got to show you. I've got to follow it up with the greatest animated film of all time.
Well, I wouldn't say greatest, but it's definitely an amazing
No,
animated.
unironically, the greatest animated film.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hell
God,
yeah.
I haven't seen this movie in so long, but I have nothing but fond memories for it. I'm so happy that you recommended this finally. Thank you, Jules, for doing
Yep,
this.
it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I
Man.
saw that in the theater back when it came out in 2005, and I think I've maybe seen it once since then. I'm way overdue for a rewatch.
Did you
I
get
might
scared
rewatch it
at
so I
some
can
of the
listen to that
scenes?
episode. Yeah, when Wallace was like the were-rabbit, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die in here.
Mercy.
Don't spoil. Luka hasn't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit,
No,
Luka?
that's why that's why I was recommending it. Because Luka has not seen any Aardman film ever, to my knowledge.
Damn. Did you have a child?
Is this true?
Is that wait? Have you seen one? I feel like there's one you may have seen.
Is this true? I don't think that's. Yeah.
I've seen Flushed Away.
Yeah, but that's not one of those. Like, I don't count that as one of the Aardman movies, the real ones at least.
The thing is, Aardman is so distinct and memorable to me. I just think it's been since I was a child since I've seen these movies, because I've seen the Pirates movie. I remember that.
Oh yeah, that's
I've
a good one.
seen the Shaun the animated TV show.
Banger.
I've seen and obviously Wallace and Gromit are recognizable characters. So
Iconic.
yeah.
I was gonna say, Jules, should we watch any of the Wallace and Gromit shorts before we watch Wallace and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit?
If you
or
want to,
just
I
go
mean,
into
I'm not
this
gonna,
one?
I'm not gonna
Okay.
chase you up on it like it's homework or something. But yeah, if you want to.
Okay. Cool. Well,
I'm gonna watch them all.
Oh, Luka, please, can we watch them
nice.
together?
You know what?
Yes.
Yes.
You know what? I'll watch all the Wallace and Gromit shorts too. Fuck it, I'll do that too. Yeah. So cool. Well, should
Gotta
I
watch.
say
Have
the
you
thing, or
seen
do you want to
A
say it,
Matter
Jules?
of Loaf and Death, the one from the late 2000s?
I've only seen I've only seen the Wallace and Gromit short where Wallace and Gromit go in a rocket to travel
Oh,
to
A
the
Grand
moon,
Day
and
Out.
the moon is made out
Okay.
of cheese or something.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
the
that
worst
one. Yeah. So
Okay, you gotta watch.
that's the worst one. Okay.
Maybe not. It's hang on. Sorry, I just gotta. I'll put the list of titles in the chat. But yeah, so if you do not want to be spoiled
Okay,
for
thank you.
Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, as well as maybe some of the shorts, Wallace and Gromit: A Grand Day Out, The Wrong Trousers, A Close Shave, and A Matter of Loaf and Death, watch them all before the next episode. Yeah.
Cool. Another day, another dollar. Another one bites the dust. Shebang. Thank you, John, for coming on to the episode. We really loved having you, and thank you
Of course, thank you for
dealing
having
with
me.
thank you for dealing with ours, but most specifically my angry rants. It's they're a lot to deal with. So thank you for doing that. Do you want to shout out anything that you're working on? Shout out any social medias, or plug anything you want. Yeah.
I would shout out stuff I'm working on, but the truth is we haven't even thought of the name for the YouTube channel we're planning to expand on the middle section stuff. But
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, you can follow me on Letterboxd, just John Griffin, and then you can also follow me on Twitter at jgriffs, but it's JGRFFS, and my username is Griff with a spider web emoji next to it because I like Spider-Man. Yeah, you can follow me there.
Cool. Well, thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Or
Bye.
bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.